You are now tuned in to DameSmiff.
Welcome to Musician Talks. This is DameSmiff, and this is episode 35. And today I want to talk to you guys about income streams as an artist and why they're important and the many different ones you can get. I'll talk about a few today. But before I get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and share this video with anybody who's interested in improving their music career, learning about the music industry, or possibly just joining the conversation about being creative as a whole in today's society. So, I want to talk about income streams. For artists, it's important to have multiple income streams, especially with so many opportunities out there today to diversify, I guess, your different income streams. But I want to talk about a few different ones that are pretty important, especially if you're a publisher or songwriter. So the obvious ones are your royalties. You get your mechanical royalties and your performance royalties. But the other ones I want to talk about are not as common. So you have things like a merch income stream, merchandise, where you can sell t-shirts, hoodies, you can sell mugs with your album art on it. Anything that you can sell that's physical, that would be considered merchandise for your artwork. You can also tap into consultation, lessons, things like that. You may come across younger musicians or even less experienced musicians who may need help with possibly their scales, intonation, things like that. Small things where you can develop a bit of a business helping others, and you can create an income stream doing that. Another way you can develop develop an income stream is investing into other artists. So there's programs out there that are already established, as well as organizations that if you have a project, an album, or something that you're working on that can be of benefit to the community you live in or near, they will offer you grants, sometimes even loans or scholarships or things like that, so that you can financially support your project, and in return, they would get the benefit of what your project would be. There's thousands of organizations out there that do this, and that's really, really cool because you get to focus on your work as an artist, and you get to find new ways to help the community in ways that they require. Like, instead of trying to look for the problems, they can point out the problems in your nearby community, and you can find a way that you can help. And another way you can create an income stream for yourself as an artist is obviously in the production of music, but finding ways that are non-musical ways to improve people's production. So when you're creating a song or an album or things like that, there's a team that goes into that. Either the engineers that help mix and master, you have the people who have to basically purchase the equipment, which are typically like studio managers and things like that. You can help market and brand other musicians as you can, with your experience, as you see fit. So an example of that would be if you see another artist maybe in your town or somewhere else on Instagram or something like that, and their social media page isn't as popular as it could be, you can learn a bit about SEO and social media marketing and help support this artist into getting their brand and things like that together, so that way they can help, so that way they can improve their branding as a musician. And this is really cool for artists because this helps you develop new skills that are highly paid skills in some aspects, and also you can build your network quite quickly, because if you can help somebody else, word of mouth gets around, other people will want your services. And then the other hand, if you're both musicians, odds are if the marketing works and they recommend you to people and word of mouth gets around, you can garner new fans through that as well. And things like this you as an artist can get really, really creative, because it can go as far as actually running another artist's page, to just promoting the artist on your page, to maybe just sharing and collaborating on content and music and things like that. So when you're an artist, it's also important to remember that to be a successful artist, you have to be pretty decent at business. Now, that doesn't mean, push your artistic side to the side where you're not really focusing on the creation of music and things like that, but you want to really develop a system of income streams that you can benefit from. Now, if you're a young artist, this can be a lot tougher because of lack of experience and obviously not having the resume to just jump into things like that. But you're in a better position to have way more potential because you can choose the income streams that you want to tap into early on versus like somebody like me where I've already been doing what I do for now. So it's a bit of spinning different plates right now where I have streaming music published, I write for others, and I'm doing this on YouTube. So there's a lot of different things that I'm currently doing that I would have to focus on right now versus somebody who hasn't started yet where you can actually hone in and figure out what you're really good at. And another thing as artists, it's important to remember that your income streams aren't going to be like $10,000 a month here, another $15,000 a month here, and then another $90,000 a month here. It's not going to work like that. What you essentially are trying to do is you're trying to take multiple income streams that you can manage and grow them over time, or if not, have them working and growing while you're sleeping, essentially. So an example of that would be the obvious one, which is to have music that's streaming and things like that, but you would have to put that music in position for people to enjoy, like, and be able to reach and consume. So developing a system where you're either running ads for your music or you're performing live for people, getting the word out and things like that, and it's constantly driven to people that this music is worth the purchase and things like that and worth the stream. When you go to sleep at night, people will be looking and the system will be working by itself. But it's important to have streams of income like that, maybe like 2 or 3 incomes that you don't necessarily have to physically, work at, and then have 2 or 3 other income streams that you can manage where you actually are putting in work. And like I spoke before, you can teach lessons and do consultation for the artists. A lot of artists need branding help and social media management and things like that, and sometimes networking. And you can also tap into other non-musical things around the music industry, like becoming a roadie, a manager. You can help with things like the finances. There's tour managers. There's people who can source and sell equipment for people, like speakers, microphones, cables, and things like that. There's a lot of different opportunities. And then the last way was the first opportunity I spoke about, where you can get grants and scholarships and things like that from different organizations that are willing to support artists in their city, as long as they're of benefit to the city. So it's something to think about. And take the time to figure out what you want to do and what you're good at doing. So that way the choices can dwindle down to possibly the best options you have. And it's also important to talk to some of the people in these various positions that I've named too. Get some insight on what they have to do with their day-to-day work, or maybe get some insight in what they think of the position and the role they play for their career. So that's it for me. That is a Musician Talks, episode 35. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be here every single day except for Wednesdays between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. on YouTube. And that's Eastern Standard Time. I'm DameSmiff, and I'm out.